seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
What's up, Derby World? It's the Beast and Bake Derby Talk podcast, episode 26. How you going, Nath?
Oh, I'm doing very well. How is yourself?
Yeah, it's been a massive weekend of Demolition Derby. I've travelled across New South Wales and Queensland to capture the videos. So I was very much enjoying a decent sleep after the last few nights. So it's been intense. I don't know how people manage to fit Derby cars actually into this kind of stuff. The filming's hard enough.
Yeah, speaking of that, there has been a few derbies because I was actually looking at the leaderboard before we did this, and the changes that happened within 2 or 3 weeks is pretty crazy to see. Like, even myself, I went from like 9th to 5th, and now I'm back down to 8th, all in a matter of 2 or 3 weeks. So it's crazy how quick it can all change.
Oh yeah, and up the top of the leaderboard at the moment, there's 2 points in it. There is another derby. I don't know whether Matt Moore has actually noticed it or not, but if he gets a little car and goes up to Nowra, if he can go, he can steal this one from Chris Fisher. It's very close. Like,
Chris,
I don't know whether he's going to be building a small car or not. But yeah, mate, there's 2 points in it. He gets one for just showing up. Mate, I think Chris is going to be hunting for a hatchback.
Yeah, I definitely think he will be. He's he's been talking about it.
Yeah, well, so just for everyone's information, tonight we've got Chris Fisher on there. We're going to talk to him about the leaderboard and all the apprehension at the moment, because I know that bloke does not want to pay for his flights to America, so he's trying to win that leaderboard and get the Australian Championship, the first Australian Championship in the association's history, which is pretty exciting. And we've also managed to somehow convince Stephen Taylor to come onto the podcast tonight. So the madman himself is actually here tonight. So he'll be on there to talk about the Derby on the weekend at Gloucester that he went in. That everyone went in, really. There was a heap of members there and just a heap of drivers. It was actually a record-breaking event, 38 cars, which is the biggest they've ever had.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good to see that many cars on the field at once. It's a nightmare for officials, but cool for the rest of us. But,
it was a nightmare for me standing on the sideline trying to film it, as well as watch all the cars and make sure I don't get run over.
Yeah, it's no, it was good. It was good to see it, and it was good to be out there. I wasn't out there for very long, but it was there's definitely plenty of action happening in every corner and every spot of the field.
Oh yeah,
we'll get to see that anyway, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we have got the video of it tonight, and we've got some in-car footage as well. So we'll do you want to move on to the update?
Yeah, so not really much from last time, I suppose. Everything's still working in the background. We're doing all the things we should be doing, and Derby Mania is probably one of our main focuses at the moment, given that it's, I know we keep saying it, but it's still one of the biggest things happening in Australia. So, them things don't really happen without a lot of preparation and, everything happening behind closed doors. So, but another big thing that's happened with us too is our rules have been approved by the insurance company. So our set of rules that we come up with and sort of implicated from a bit of everywhere and a bit of everything, and made them simplified rules and not so confusing and really easy rules to build with and use. So they've been approved, so we can start using our rules at any places that we run, which I think's I think that's great. That's probably a big step towards what we actually started this association for. So,
obviously the goal being the unified rules Australia wide, which if that happens, I mean that's a massive achievement. And the first step was getting it actually passed by a regulatory body, which is the AASA and their insurance company. So that was a really big step forward from the association. Creddy helped a lot with that, but most of the board members helped with that one as well. So those rules will evolve. We have our board members that are actually in control of that. So that's Creddy and Stewie from the New England region. So they make sure that they pay attention to every derby, and if they need to adjust the rules as they go. Obviously, this is an evolving sport, so we do that rather than have the same rules for 10 years and outdated cars, etc. But they're a massive step forward for the sport to have those rules actually implicated. They'll be in, I think the next one that we run that isn't a representative derby will be Goondiwindi, which should be a cracker of an event too.
And followed by Ipswich, I believe.
Yep, for the Queensland compact title. It'd be interesting to see whether old Chris Fisher can make it up there and try and win both compact titles.
The compact king of Australia.
Yeah, compact king. You put him in something big and, we'll see how he goes. But you put him in a little car. I was even thinking about telling him to take a laser at Origin. It would have been great.
Yeah.
So also speaking of the Origin, that's only a month away. Today, in 1 month, we will all be at State of Origin, which is a massive event that's coming up at Toowoomba Speedway for anyone that's interested in that.
And speaking on that too, in 4 months from today, we'll be back in Queensland again for the final of Derby Mania. So,
yes, we will. I think we should just move to Queensland by the sounds of this.
Yeah, it sounds like, yeah. If you're in Queensland, you've got some big events coming up your way this year. So,
yes, we have been busy.
A little bit of an update too. So, we've had a fair few derbies since the last podcast. So we had Muswellbrook. So members that were in that. So Matt got first, Chris got second, I got Mad Dog, Aiden and Zach were there. We got Inglewood, Jack Cohen, Walker. We had Al Bell, Blake, Stuart and Tommy. Warwick, we had Reese and Cody, which actually they got equal first. And that was, I dare say we'd have the video for that. That was a cool finish. Gloucester, we had a massive amount of members there. So we got Matt Moore again, got first. He's on a bit of a run. Critty got Mad Dog. Then we had Blake Taylor, Dan, Lockie, James, Chris, myself, and Josh James. And Mosvar, we had Stacks in his Merc Beast. He proved to be pretty soft looking at it.
They fall apart, the big girls.
Yeah, the top 10 on the leaderboard, we got Chris, Matt, Stacks, Aiden, Reese, Critty, Cody, myself, Cody Small from Victoria, and then Todd. So that's our top 10. But yeah, like Shane was saying before, between Chris and Matt, there's only 2 points. So it's neck and neck coming into the final weeks of our first leaderboard. So it's
and really, I think Chris should be building a hatchback right now to secure that win. I think now is going to be very interesting to see who goes there.
Well, I have the list from our podcast on the 8th, and Chris had 34 points on the 8th, and Matt had 25, and now they're sitting at 39 and 37, I believe. So Matt's actually gained 12 points in 2 weeks, or a bit over.
So
2
he's
weeks,
won the last 2 in a row. His last 2 events.
He's actually won the last 3 derbies in a row.
Oh wow! So
Yeah,
he's definitely been on a run towards the end. Then between the two of them, it's hard to see which one really does want to pay for their flights.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like we've said it all year that anything can change with that leaderboard. Like Stacks was pretty much leading the leaderboard. Like after you pulled out, Stacks was leading that leaderboard almost all year. And then Chris has come through, and now Matt's come from the deep out of nowhere, and now he's running hot in second. Like I said before, like I went from 9th to 5th to 8th all in 2 weeks. Like that's how quick everything can change. So Yeah, it doesn't matter if someone's 12 points ahead. That within 2 weeks, Matt's caught right back up and possibly going to take the win here. So
that's right, and that ends on the 30th of next month, just after Origin, and then it resets. So all members will start back at 0, and then we'll kick it straight back off again for the whole year. And it's going to be interesting to see how everyone sort of measures up in the second year of it. Few little adjustments will probably happen with the point system, but other than that, it's going to be free for all to try and see who takes the next one.
Yeah, that's right. It's I think it's going pretty good for our first year, and it's there's people that have come from nowhere and now they're up the top, and all in the top 10, and some people haven't even done each derby and are still in the top 10. So it's cool to see.
So just before we go on to the next stuff, we did have a little bit of a giveaway for the association. It was just basically a way of just pumping everyone up for the derbies on the weekend. So we had the drivers send out some footage of their cars and enter into it. So the most popular video was the one that was going to win it, and that actually came from Brock Clayton up in Sydney. So Brock's won an ADDA shirt as well as 5 free raffle tickets for the Demolition Derby cars. So he can choose whether he wants to, separate them up and go into Ipswich and Goondiwindi, or just throw them all under one and see how he goes. So, Brock, if you're watching, mate, contact the page and we'll organise that later on. But other than that, I think we've got the boys. Yep.
Jason Rasport hasn't contacted us too from last time, so get onto us, mate, if you want to claim your prize from last time.
That's right. All right, so we might just bring the boys on board now before Steve has a panic attack. I think he smashed down 3 beers as we've been talking, so we'll bring him on now. How you going, boys?
Yeah, good. How you going?
Chris
good, mate.
Muted.
Yeah, Chris is muted. He's starting off strong. So good to have you on, boys. Thanks for coming on board. You are live now, so everyone's watching. Great derby on the weekend, guys. It was good to see such a massive field out there. Steve Taylor just rocked up at the last minute, scared the crap out of everyone, so that's good.
Time to give off the game, but
Steve, do you want to tell, for those people that don't know who you are, do you want to just give us a little bit of a rundown of who you are in your derby career?
Oh, yeah. My name's Stephen. I love big hits for play. It's full noise one side to the other. And, I'm just all for the fun of it, the sport, and get out and play games, and, just have fun. That's all I do.
Yeah. And Chris, everyone knows you, mate. You're always here. So obviously, everyone here was at the Derby at Gloucester on the weekend. I personally think it was a cracker of an event. Everyone just got out there and absolutely made a mincemeat of their cars, which was good to see. I think, the 38 cars obviously made it a massive event. It was a little bit wet out there. Nath, you want to talk about that?
No.
Who knows how it was?
Yeah, so there was one end of the field that was really wet, and I don't know. There was so many cars out there. It was someone hit me. So every time someone hit me, I thought, I'll just get you back. So I pretty much just went from one side to the other, hit the ute, and that's where I stayed. I found myself in the bog, and then after the Derby, realised it was my own front bar that I was bogged on. So I can tell you now, it'll be the first and last time I ever run bars.
You'll see why I don't run bars.
That was pretty much my 60 seconds of fame at Gloucester.
Yeah, there was one hole, like one bog hole in the entire track, which was almost the size of the entire showground, and Nath got stuck in that hole, that one hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'll see how locked up his back left wheel
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think I did one or two hits down there, and realised it was way too soft. I ended up getting bogged as well, but I think it was Stephen that pushed me out.
Oh,
and I just did not go back down that end at all after that.
I saw a few cars go over that way and sort of just disappear from the event, but I wasn't sure what happened until I went over there and saw Nath's car straight as an arrow. And I went, oh, and he was not happy.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I don't know if you
What did you end
Yeah.
up doing with that car?
It's on the trailer out the front.
Oh, you go.
You definitely got to win the argument with the wifey to make sure you can keep that and use it at another event. Oh,
Yeah.
poor old Camry. Well, now that we've got everyone on here, I think we might have a bit of a watch of that event so everyone knows what we're talking about. Yeah, so obviously this is the massive lineup of this event. Like it doesn't do it justice from this video, but like there was a whole row of cars there. Like it was a massive lineup of cars. And there's your brother, 100 mile an hour off the start.
Almost taking each other out.
Yep.
No, you fellas got the yeah. I forget half the video. Oh, there's that. I mean,
Yep. There's Nate
There's
just getting
Pretty.
smashed off the start.
is that you at the start?
You sound like you're so far away from the camera, Steve. You might have to actually hold it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
better. Now, what do we think of the Tuscan that Matt was in?
Yeah, no, that
That
went really
thing.
well.
I have no idea how the hell that thing was still running at the end.
Oh, man, even the hits that copped up the front of it was shocking.
Someone stole his radiator. Did anyone notice that?
Yeah, it was sitting
Yeah.
on the ground. It was
Yeah, I
buried.
think the Critty, when he's hit him, just ripped it clean out of the car.
I think it did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I was there
front left
helping him
tyre.
build that. I was there helping him build that, and that was the most basic build we could ever do on that thing.
All you
And
can hear. Oh, no.
the front radiator support is plastic. We couldn't move the wires out of the guards. No, it was just the basicest build. I don't know how it kept going, to be honest.
And it was an absolute tank too. Like the chassis
Yeah.
on the rear of it barely moved. The chassis on the front of it barely moved. It was just solid. I mean, it was running like probably on 3 cylinders halfway through the Derby, but it just never seemed to slow down.
the thing that got me was how far that left-hand tyre was laying over and still driving.
100%, yeah.
There you go.
Well, I don't know if
There's
you saw any of the videos of the after effects or anything, but someone hit him that hard in the side that it actually ripped off the hinge of the door.
On Matt's car.
Yeah, Matt's car. And this, here we go. Here's the 2 bulls in a paddock. The 2 toughest kids at the park. They're always going to have a fight, and here it is. Just
I like
bang.
how I would have loved to have seen a GoPro of Matt's face in that moment because you watch him go to steer and drive and he's like, oh, I got nothing. I'm fine.
he's just like, oh, well, I guess this is it. And then he just drove head on into the back of him.
I
Yeah,
bet you
there's
it was
the one that actually stabbed the
smiling,
door in. The other panel van come through and just stabbed the door in. But look at this. Matt didn't give a shit at this point. What was happening in this Derby? He was going to head on the shit out of him.
Yeah,
And
he was
Critty
going-
has
he was
no
getting-
idea what's coming. Oof. That is a hit. If you have a look at this, just watch as soon as he hits, he looks forward, and then that's a bad thing to see. Dunk. He would have hit and went, oops. It's cool to see that mix of driver style though. Like the Critty came down south to do some derbies down this way, and those matchups rarely happen with the boys from New England coming down taking on the boys from the Hunter Valley.
He was getting even there. He didn't care what happened to his car as long as he got even.
Yeah, oof, there's a driver's door. That one you can't really blame the young fella for this one though, because you have a look, just dunk, that little bit of movement just before it.
I've lost you, fellas. I'm glitched out here.
The,
Oh, you can't see us?
Nah, I'm fully frozen. Man.
we can see
Right, you
you and
might
hear
have to-
you.
Yeah, we can see and hear.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
There
there
you
he
go,
is. There's Stephen Taylor
There's
driving
Steve
the
Taylor in
slowest
the
he ever
background
has.
Oh,
He
all you could
finds the
hear was,
accelerator swing.
well, that's all you could hear is my car going from neutral to drive or reverse. Yeah, it just kept popping out of gear. It was close shit.
I think you see you start going head on in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's why I got the shits and I put myself out. I ended up hitting someone head on and CV myself.
No, well, it happens.
If you
Geez,
if
that
you
old
just seen
XP
there,
van's been around for a bit now. Oh, there he is.
there's the Stephen Taylor we know.
There's
The
I can't even bloody say it, but I could hear it.
you
the,
going 100 mile an hour and bang.
straight into the front of me. That's if you watch before, Matt Moore went head on twice back then, and like we're halfway through the Derby, so it just once again shows how tough the front of them things are.
Well, I mean, he got pumped by Critty. If you have, I think it was like a minute 40 into the Derby.
And then straight away went head on. Oh, yeah, that was a big driver's door. That's one that like he probably should have been maybe spoken to about a bit, but that was
Yeah, it was a
like,
massive driver's door.
Yeah, he was sitting pretty still then too. Like he wasn't moving.
I think that's got to be a bit of red mist. Like, there's no other excuse. I'd say he's just, young fella,
Just
first
young
Derby,
and-
just
yeah.
hitting anything that's close.
He's got perfect vision out the back too, so he can't say his boot was up.
Yeah. So this comes back to drivers' briefings as well. Like that's how important it is to mention to first timers, like, red crosses are the number one rule in our sport is you do not mess with a red cross. If you don't have the skill to miss it, don't even aim for it.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't hit that side of the car. Is a good way to do it.
Yeah, spin the wheel the other way. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Want someone else. Plenty other cars out there to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't
right.
know if any of you guys saw, but Critty hit Lockie Drysdale 1,000 miles an hour behind the driver's door,
Which
which
is a
absolutely
good
annihilated him. It just pushed it clean across.
yeah.
Look
I
at
still
that.
remember Critty saying it before the Derby. He goes,
Book.
I don't give a shit who's behind me, as long as they're Magnas or Camrys.
Steve just wiping the front end off of James Ryan. Poor bugger, he was having a good time before that.
I can't even say it, guys.
I'm just happy to be here, guys.
Yeah. You finally got me on here. I'm here.
Yeah, that's right. We do what we can do. Old Harvey Walter did pretty good too. He's second Derby?
Yeah, Harvey won the second Derby. Yeah.
He's definitely someone to watch in the future because he just hit everything.
Yeah, did you see that? He just hit his old boy.
I don't think that was Clint.
Yeah,
Clint
2
got-
on 3.
I think that was Clint got bogged by you,
Isn't that-
like next to you.
Isn't that Clint there in the middle?
Nah. I don't know who that was.
Oh, no, wrong
Yeah,
blue
Clint,
car.
Clint was over with you, I think. I think he got bogged right next to you. I actually thought you were doing quite well in this, Chris, before you stopped.
Yeah. It was just me top radio to hose the bloody snap. That's all it was.
Yeah,
I got-
the delay slowed you down a bit by the fact that you just were waiting for ages.
I got stuck on Chris a couple times because I couldn't get drive. So I was sitting there like trying to bang limiter and push him out of the way and like hope to God he would go so that I could get momentum moving again. Oh, it was so tough, trying to do that bloody gearbox. That was the worst gearbox I've ever driven with in a Magna, I'll tell you that.
Man, I think you need to get a Tuscan. I would love to see you in one of them things.
Yeah, I'll do a Mark Murray, get a Camry or an Avalon or something.
Yeah, get something like that.
But it just goes to show, like, we always run Magnas and Camrys, but like, no one had ever picked that car to be one of the toughest cars out there, considering what was there. Like Utes, pedal vans, Magnas, Camrys.
Yeah, I've driven against a couple of them. When I see Matt Moore had it, I said, "Holy shit! Like this is going to be dangerous."
And yeah, sure, it was. Like they're strong because like I've derbied against them at Walker and shit, and yeah, they're bloody strong, mate.
Well, if you ever look now, you can see him the front of his car. There's no radiator. That's the exhaust on the front of it.
Yep.
There's nothing there.
And then you like
Yeah, it
there
was
was
pure
a,
motor.
there was a spot at the end there. I watched the Ute, and another car hit him up the front end, and he just kept going. And like even I was shocked about it. Like it went really well. That. But
Yeah, I don't
hands
even
down,
know if he was protecting the front. Like he was just hammering everything that moved.
that's what I mean. Like hands
Yeah.
Matty Moore, he drove that thing so good.
Yeah, props to him. I hope he keeps that momentum going for Origin next month.
Well, you know what's funny
Yeah.
as hell? Is they found a butt plug in Aiden James's Derby car, so they zip tied it to the top of Matt Moore's car. Ever since they've done it, he has been on this winning streak. I'm like, you need to leave that thing attached. So,
Maybe it's a threat. Maybe it's a
what
threat
it
that if he loses.
He's still carting around with him.
yeah. It's zip tied
It's
to the
always in
floor
his
on his
pocket.
wrist sign.
At all times, it's in his pocket.
That's what I said. You better leave that freaking thing on there.
What car was James Ryan driving anyway? What was that thing?
Oh,
I have no idea.
It was a Ford Corsair or whatever they are.
No, it had 8 cylinders on it.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
Eight
what I was going
spark
to get from Mussy, but he picked it up.
Yeah, it was a bit soft in the front though. Like Steve hit it hard-ish, but not enough for it to cave the front end like that.
Yeah, that's true. Eh?
I just want to pick up on something with this driving too. I was watching this Derby, and what Matt Moore did there was a real smart move, hey? Because, like,
Aiden wants his butt plug back.
like what Matt Moore did there. There was 3 cars left. Paddy was obviously moving pretty good in the Ute, but I forget his name.
Harvey.
Yeah, he was barely moving, so Matt come in there and killed him off to secure second before he went for the Ute.
Yeah,
he had a
mate,
shot at
mate,
both
so he
of
can
them.
concentrate.
Yeah, so he had, he secured himself second and then went for the Ute, which I thought was pretty clever.
I mean, the cool part about it is, I mean, I hate this how they finish like this. It's a massive pain to watch, but I understand what they're doing. The good part is that the Utes will always die first. Like the motors will always dark out when it comes to this kind of stuff that far into the Derby. If they're running a radiator, if they're up north and they're not running a radiator, well, you just hope that they flatten the tires or some shit because they don't tend to cook too easily.
Like, looking at Paddy here, I don't know what he was doing, but he kept reaching for the flag every time Matt lined him up. So I don't know if he was getting a bit nervous or whether he just thought he wanted to save the car or not.
I think he was trying to make sure he got second place. So I was waiting for the other bloke to snap his flag first.
Like, look at that front left wheel. If that was a Magna, you would have done a CV by now.
Well, not only that, look at that front end. Look at the engine. That's literally steam coming out of the bloody where the radiator hose is. And there's his catalytic converter. Like you can see the whole front is just cooked.
I've
And there's the
CV'd
door punched in.
I've CV'd one of them before. I did it at Walker and now you're back and
Is that the one you went back to back with?
yeah, I went back to back with the van and I broke 3 of my ribs and yeah, I ended up turning around and trying to do a little head-on hit. I ended up just head-on him in the CV and yeah, just landed up right over and
That's not preferred. I think there is a video of that if I can find it somewhere when you back to back that Kia and just absolutely annihilated yourself.
oh man, 3 hits, eh? 3 hits and my car was fucked.
So this is Dan's in-car. So a thing that the association's doing at the moment, whenever obviously we have time, and I've actually got a weekend off, I'm going to the derbies and getting the decent videos of the derbies, but also taking the in-car cameras and giving it to opportunities for drivers that have never had in-car cameras before to actually have a crack. So this is Dan's first ever in-car.
Going on, Derby World. Daniel Bergman, off the show. Send it.
Legend.
Look at that lineup.
That was awesome, eh?
That is an atmosphere, that. Also nerve-wracking, though, when you'd see that many cars around, you go, oh, no.
Yeah, that's how I felt going through the middle with my gearbox slipping out, you know, just going, kick into gear, and then you'd see fucking ute coming past you.
I think we're all waiting for Blake's hit there, eh? We're just watching him.
Everyone just stopped and they went, oh, this is what will start the Derby. Oof. See that? He backed off then. We spotted the driver's door and there's a bit of experience there. He's backed off to get the better shot, so he didn't hit the door. What happened to that little... Actually, that just reminded me. See that little friggin' hatchback there?
Little Festiva thing. I think it was a
What
little
happened to
Lex.
that?
Yeah,
It
a
was
little
still
Lex.
straight
Yeah,
after the Derby.
Yeah, it went into like limp mode and cut him out. It wouldn't let him start. Kept
Yeah.
flashing a like symbol at him.
Yeah, because it was straight as an arrow at the end of the Derby.
Yeah.
There's Blake already done.
He done what he said he
man,
wanted to do, and he was happy as hell.
Yeah. My man doesn't get paid by the hour. What do you do, Steve? Right? It's your brother. When you hear him say all this, and then you watch him go flying across the track, and then just snap the car in half, and you just go, "Yep."
Yeah.
After he was talking before the Derby and saying how much effort he put into getting that car done to be there, lasts for 10 seconds.
He literally sent me a video. I don't know if you saw it, Steve. I don't even know if you were in the car with him, but he sent me a video of they were literally like, I think it was like 10K outside of Gloucester, and they ran out of fuel in the tow car because they forgot to fuel it up. So he's on the side of the road. His tow car's broken down, and he's got a Derby car in the back that's not starting because it's rat-shitted itself for some reason. And he's just there going, well, it's not a great day, guys. Look.
You always got to look at positives, but every time there's a shit going, like a shit time on a Derby day, you just got to look at the positives. Like, it's still Derby day.
Yeah, that's right. It's still Derby day. You still get to go there. Even if he went there and just got to watch it, he would have been happy.
I even said to him, like, when he was doing that hit up with Rhodesy, I was like, man, I looked at the ute and I said, it's buggered. Like, you're going to get one good hit, and I guarantee you it's going to fold in half. And wow,
That's what happened.
it just kind of kicked for me, didn't it?
I don't think he had any expectations of doing any more hits than that one.
I mean, look, and like him and Rhodesy, like, they get on well as good mates, and that's what it was. It's just a bit of a G up for the crowd, and you know, like I give it to me, brother. Like, he can run his mouth like a smartass at the best of times, but at least he backs his mouth up with the derbies and that. Like, he's always out for a bit of fun.
All right, well, let's get to this bit. He's going to State of Origin, mate. What's going to happen?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you. It's going to be pretty brutal, but yeah, that's all I can say is good luck.
I can tell you now, he's put a massive target on himself.
Oh, and he does. He runs his mouth for it, but I suppose it's all in the good well-being of the derbies.
But that's one bloke that I know that can back it up.
Yeah, that's it. He can always back it up. He's not afraid for a hit. I could give it to him for that. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to watch that one. I'm hoping I can try and chase up a freaking camera from the inside of his car or something like that, because you know that's going to be classic footage. Because, I mean, I know the Queenslanders, they're going to end up trying to pump the crap out of him. So there you go. This guy.
Here we go.
He'll start the derby and he'll be like a washing machine. He'll be like,
Yeah, no, look, honestly, but I give it to him. He does chirp his mouth a bit, but he backs his words up. Like, he's always out there for a fucking good hit. But yeah, as long as I'm keen, like, I don't think you should just put one camera in the car. I think there should be like 6 different angles of how much motion.
Just get as much as we can of it.
I want to put a microphone in his helmet. I reckon that's going to be the best part.
He'd just
Oh,
be
fuck
swearing the whole bloody time. What are you talking about?
Oh, well, going to be good to watch anyway. I'll be there for sure. I'll be watching you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a cracker. There's Dan just bloody wiping someone's CV out. Then he just gives old Critty a hit. The old Magna wagons, they're like a big spear, aren't they? They just hit and drive up whatever they get.
That's what it makes them out of the wagon day. I prefer it to Dan.
Yeah, I love those first gen wagons though because they're actually solid, whereas the third gens kind of tend to bend too quick.
Yeah, I've never really had much luck in a wagon. Mine all seem to bend down
Yeah, man.
Oof.
I think it's the
or
first
drop
couple
struts.
of- it's the first couple of
Yeah,
years
or
to the
drop
Mac.
struts. I think old mate in that van would have felt that.
Same, Daniel got a top tire at the start.
Yeah, that affected him pretty quickly. I think Matt Moore ends up taking his wheel off as he pretty unintentionally too. As he's driving through for a head-on, he clips onto Matt Moore, takes his own CV off by the looks of it. It's going to be very interesting to see how Dan goes in Alaska too.
No, it's frozen again.
I tell you what,
Hopefully
there is
no-
no better feeling in a derby though when you get stuck like that and then you feel the car start to move and you're like, I'm back alive.
You didn't feel that on Sunday night, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, rough.
And you know the worst part too is I was moving about half a meter backwards and forwards each time, but I'd only get to a certain point. It wouldn't let me keep going. I was like, "Fuck this."
You know what the other worst part is? Your teammate spotted you there and went, nah.
3 times. Three times he drove past it, and he thought I must have been waving at him because he just waved back and kept driving.
I saw how wet it was. I'm like, if you're bogged, I'm going to get bogged. So fuck it.
He's like, you're on your own, mate.
Yeah, I'll remember that. I think
Just
it was
remember that
Bullard
in
Miller
about a
I
month's
pushed him
time,
out.
if he's getting absolutely annihilated by
Wait.
the Queenslanders.
It's not my fault. You done a rookie error and left your bumper on.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been stuck on my bumper, eh?
I did
Gloucester's
it
the first
once and I
weekend I've
never
ever
wore
been
the bumper
stuck.
again. I did it at Cessnock in I think it was 2012 or something like that. And ever since then, I've never ran a bumper.
Yeah, I won't
I
ever.
always just take them off because they're a pain in the ass if back in the balance is so much higher.
Yeah. And they just drag and it's so annoying.
Yeah.
There was a lot of cars that got stuck right next to. Isn't it funny? Dan and Blake started the derby next to each other, and they finished the derby next to each other too.
The Blake's facing the other way.
The thing that makes me laugh is that the groundskeeper was so worried about certain boys running them
Rally for
ATV tires. Yeah, and he's worried about the grounds. Yeah, I'll throw this up. Like you can see here, the countdown starts now. Fucking hell.
He's like not even wearing a seatbelt.
Yeah, I was like, helmet or seatbelt? Which one? I was like, oh, fuck it, I'll start the car first. And the seatbelt goes on.
Here comes Gritty.
And helmet's on, look around, I'm like, oh, yep. It was 10 seconds, derby's on. I'm just like, fuck hell.
Yeah, there wasn't much warning or anything,
It was just straight on.
Yeah, and they're like, get in your cars. All right, derby's on. I was like, holy fuck.
It's a pretty cool view though, with the association flag and that sticking up.
Well, see, this is on my bonnet, so this isn't the back part of the.
No helmet strap. He put the strap on.
That ain't Chris.
Oh, that ugly Stacks. Come on.
Oh,
Oh,
Steve
no,
Bell's
we've lost. Yeah, we've lost Steve. He's gone.
So I'm
Poor
watching the
bugger
U.
hasn't even zipped up his overalls.
Yeah, there was no time, eh? It
Nah,
was
it was.
you're out of your car because there was like 10 minutes, and then next minute there's 10 seconds till the derby's on. I was the exact same.
What?
I was
Freaking mud straight on the camera.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder how many other people didn't have a seatbelt or anything on when it started, because it kicked off really quick. And, like, even I wasn't ready for it, and I was just standing there.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
A bit of mud's a bit of a pain in the butt.
Oh. So I should have learnt my lesson there when I went into the mud. But I kind of
The
wanted
worst
to get
part is
the
you were actually motoring around pretty good with that Camry too.
I know.
Is that a
Oh,
four-cylinder
see,
Camry?
Nah, 6.
No. Chris needs a couple more points.
Up
I
there for
honestly don't
ages.
think I'll have time to do now. I haven't even started my Origin car yet.
I wonder whether Matt's going to do Naura, because, oof, that would make it very interesting.
Yeah, look, he can travel the 4 hours, 5 hours. I
I
just
don't think
don't
it's
have.
that far. It's like 2.5 hours from Cessnock.
No way.
Yeah,
It's better than
pretty
that.
sure it's just past Sydney because you got the bypass now. Let me have a quick look.
No, well, it was like 4 hours from here, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just over 4 hours.
No, yeah, just over 3.5. That's just under 4 hours. Shit, I'd do that. I travelled that to freaking film the video for you.
Yeah.
Especially if he wins it. Whoa. If he wins it, he's paid for his flights to America, mate.
Good on him. Proud of him.
If he,
The thing is, Chris is going to spend $3,500 on derby cars to win the leaderboard to get 2 grand flights.
Do I spend another 1,000 and go to Nara, or just fucking wear it?
oh, could you imagine if he goes if he gets it? Oh, mate, if he says I'm going to Naura, that's 1 point just for showing up, and then I guarantee you, Chris is going to be watching the derby going, stop, you fucking bum, stop.
I'll be
He'll
cheering
be
him
ringing
on.
up everyone, going, yeah, take him out off the start.
No, I'll be cheering him on. He's done good the last few derbies, so.
Yeah, he's been
You know what you need to
powering
do? Go to his house, cut the butt plug off.
on. Yeah.
I actually got to go up there, so I might do that. I might take it.
Take
his butt
it,
plug.
We're taking the butt plug. It's happening. Operation taking butt plug.
Nah,
Operation
I think we
ruthless
can't-
butt plug.
I think we kind of need the butt plug for Origin, so leave it on.
Yes, we need the butt plug. Everyone is taking the butt plug, guys. It's just going to happen. Right, so
Yeah, is
Mate,
Aiden
we've got
going
an
to have the
interesting
butt plug
thing.
for Stroud, or are we having for State of Origin?
oh, that's going to be interesting. What matters more to you, Aiden? Do you care about your
Yeah.
state, mate?
Yeah.
It's for the boys. Now, we got our first obviously run up to Derby Mania is 4 months away. We're going to try a new segment on the podcast today. Nathan's going to lead us away. Basically, we're going to put all the teams into a spinny chart. We're going to talk about the hypothetical matchup of whatever comes up.
All right. Can we see that?
Yep.
Sweet. So these are our 16 teams for Origin. So we'll give it a spin.
Mania.
Oh, Mania, sorry. Well, that's a good one to land on. There you go.
It's a solid start with the boys.
So I'll just close that. All right, so we got the boys versus Savage Racing.
Oof. That's that's an interesting start.
Very interesting.
So
So let me have a look and see who we got in those teams. So in the boys, that'd be Stephen Taylor. He's in that team.
the boys, we got Todd Cleal, Stephen Taylor, Lockie Drysdale.
Yep.
And then Savage Racing, we have Dan, who we just watched, Chance Murray, and Josh James.
That'd be an interesting matchup.
You're looking at some like veterans versus some newcomers, really, with that matchup. So
Yeah.
you're looking at some really big hitters.
Todd Cleal in the team, the boys, that's going to be absolutely lethal off the start, and it'll be an interesting matchup with him and Chance Murray too. So both like the older solid cars, but obviously Todd's got more experience than probably everyone on the track combined. So, and then you've got the wild card of Stephen Taylor, who could just wipe himself out off the start
and take you out with him.
Yeah, take you out with him.
Yeah, that's I think that'll be a real quick match, that one. So I think that's going to be like, some big solid hits off the start, and it's going to decide the winners pretty quick. I don't think that's going to be
interesting to see. Like,
I don't think that
with that round one though, like, how would those cars show up for round two? Like, would the boys wipe themselves off the track? Like, say if the boys ended up winning it, how much of their cars would be left? Because I know what they're like. Like, there's no one on that team that's going to back the accelerator.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they know any other way.
Well, that's the thing about this Derby Mania is it's going to be so different for everyone that I don't think it doesn't matter how much we can sit here and predict it. It's not going to happen the way we think it is. But yeah, I think a lot of people are going to throw tactics out the window and try and just put on a show, which is going to make a very interesting round two.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think the tactics will come into play in round two. I don't think they'll come into play round one. I think everyone's going to start. With a fresh car too, they're not going to be caring as much. They're going to be like, it's a fresh car, I'll be right. But yeah, and it's a knockout tournament too.
Yeah, that's right. Once a car's bent to a certain point, you can never make it proper again.
No, and like obviously being a knockout tournament, if you don't go hard and that other team goes hard and you lose, well, it doesn't matter how much you've protected your car because you're out. Like, I think that's going to be the defining thing, is that it's going to be very hard to go soft in that first heat and then protect your car for the second heat. And then you've got to try and somehow win the third heat. So
we've got a question.
Whoever wins it is going to earn that, because it is going to be an absolute battle.
I've got a question. So if you're out in the first heat and your car's still semi-good, can you go in the races?
Races are only for little cars, unfortunately. But there is a bash for cash on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So if your car's still good after the heats in the tournament, just fix him up and get him ready for the bash for cash on the Saturday just before the championship round. So you'll still be able to do it.
I think that bash for cash is probably going to be one of the best demo derbies we've seen all season, because people are not going to give two shits in that derby.
Yeah, everyone's
going to be brutal.
And not only that, the cars are going to be built like tanks for Mania, and then whatever happens out on that track, like you're going to have some tanks colliding. And there's 48 cars in Mania, and only 4 teams will be in the final. So what's that? 4 teams, so 12. So 12. Take 12 off the 48, whatever that math is. 36 cars could be in the bash for cash. So that's a solid derby for second-hand cars, which if they're knocked out on Friday, then they'll have all that time to fix their cars and get them ready for that bash for cash.
Yeah. Oh, we just had practice. We had 38, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do another one.
The team No Name versus the Hack Attack.
Oh, I
The
think
team
Hack
No
Attack's
Name
one of
is
the strongest teams there, to be honest.
so team No Name. We have. I'll find them here: Jordan Clark, Caleb Clark, and Jack Cohen. In team Hack
Well,
Attack.
Jack just won won Tenterfield Derby, and he's been just uptaking a lot more derbies than that now. Caleb's an absolute maniac. I don't see him going soft in the first heat. And then you've got Jordan, who's Origin rep, and he's going over to America as well. He will be looking to make an impact early, and he's a very strategic driver. But in saying that, mate, the Hack Attack team, you know, you've got Matt Begella, massive hits, and then you've got Reese and Cody, who have just dominated the Queensland Derby scene for, the last 12 months. So it's a solid team, and those Queenslanders know how to build those cars.
Yeah, it's crazy when you start putting them together, eh? Like you think about individual teams and you're like, yeah, they're a good team and that. Like, oh, they're probably going to take it out. And then you start throwing other teams at them and you start thinking, oh, hang on a minute, this might go different ways.
Well, it's all going to be that first draw. Like, if you draw a bad position, say if you've got, you know, Hack Attack and then you've got the Bounty Hunters. So you go up against Hack Attack at the start. For some reason, you manage to beat them. And then you move on to the Bounty Hunters or one of the other Queensland teams with their solid cars. That's two massive challenges back to back before you even get to the final. So, I mean, I think a lot of it's going to come down to the draw on the Thursday night.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I think if we get two of these solid teams together that are full of big hitters, I just feel sorry for whoever, you know, whoever's rebuilding their cars for the second round, because it's going to be messy.
Yeah, that's right. I think we do one more of those, then we can have a look at the Queensland derbies that we went to.
I'll spin again.
Yeah, we go again. Bad draw for Nona, and they're up already.
Oh,
Backyard Speedway Venture. They're a wild card because no one has a clue how they're going to go.
yeah.
They're going to be able to build those cars and repair them. Oh, Team Fat and Fast. That's a rough draw for them if that's the first one. There are no people that go slow and fat and fast. It's like that's Torgo, who's a state representative, who's just an absolute maniac. You got Rhodesy, and what's the other one? John. Yeah, John. So like that is a rough start. There would not be a lot of forgiveness in that lineup. Hey, look, we got Steve back. Hey.
The Backyard Speedway Ventures too. That's like what you said. That's a complete wild card. We've never seen them do derbies. So you know,
I think this is their first derby.
Might be beginner's luck.
It could be.
I don't think so because they got nowhere to go or nowhere to hide. But yeah, I don't know.
I think that their skills for driving, like racing and that, will come in handy. They'll have the good timing and stuff like that to avoid the shots. But if they drew Team Fat and Fast off the start, that's, you know, two veteran drivers and one newbie sort of thing. But having Torgo on there, Torgo's a New South Wales rep. Like, he is a big hitting man. And then you got Rhodesy, who's coming along nicely too. Like, they'll both be trying to outdo each other. And then, yeah, I think they'd be looking to make the highlight reel shots on poor old Backyard Speedway people.
Not only that, I don't know. Backyard Speedway eventually, you always see them fucking around in the back paddocks in cars too. So who knows? You know, they might surprise everyone.
It literally come down to a bit of luck as well. Like if you start the derby, say it starts and then Torgo or Rhodesy stuff up something on their car and it just dies straight away. man, everyone's in with the puncher's chance.
Yeah, and that's right too. Like, I don't know. I don't think Backyard Speedway has really looked after their Magna Derby car from the last couple of videos that I've seen. I don't think they're giving it much of a break, but yeah, it's
Is that who
don't know.
fast it's up against?
No, these are all just hypothetical.
we're just doing
Matchups.
rough matchups, mock up.
They wish that. So
Well,
on the
just
Thursday
with
before
talent.
the event, we'll have the official draw, and that'll
Yep.
be live on Facebook and everything like that at the venue. So
Yep.
each captain will draw it out, and hopefully we'll go up against a nice team that has Commodore wagons. You reckon? That'd be sweet. Yeah, we'll just introduce our team up against the Commodore wagons. Should be sweet.
As long as you're in the fucking Commodore wagon.
No, whoever we're going up against. That's the rule. Round 1 we'll be up against Commodore wagons. Round 2 Ford lasers.
Don't we get 2 buy rounds, don't we? As the
Yeah,
event
we get 2
organiser?
buy. Oh, that's right, we do. We somehow managed to snag the buy. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
We're just going to watch out for the Shepherds. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
Has anyone even posted a photo of their Derby Mania car yet? Or
Yeah,
was a
someone's already
video.
got it.
Someone's car's already ready. That's
Is it?
yeah, Jack Cowan from Team No Name. His car's ready to go.
good on him, eh? He's keen.
Yeah.
Fuck that. My Origin car's still sitting out the front with number plates on it.
Well, thanks for
I
lucky
started
draw.
wiring one, or almost finished wiring one today. So it's starting to get there. It's a slow process, but we've got a month. So
Yeah, well, thanks to lucky.
the actually funny part is, in about an hour, we've got exactly a month, and we'll probably be out there ripping in.
Yep. Shit, yeah.
Let's have a look at this Warwick Derby. This was actually a pretty, chill derby. A lot of odd builds there,
What?
different than the Queensland.
I'll watch
build
that
we used
video.
to.
What happened to old mate in the blue car, 68? Did he jump too early or did he just lose control?
I think he just lost control.
Because I was like, he's jumped early and he's been a decent bloke and turned around so he didn't take the barrel out. But then I watched it again. I was like, did he lose it?
This AU was having trouble straight off the start in the number 2. I don't know what was going on.
Nah, he's a fucking shit again.
Lost again.
Yeah, no, I've lost it again.
You need to
So
borrow
Cody
Matt's
Hack
mouse.
there in the pink ute there, and the white ute is Reese Hack. Both of those
What?
guys will be in the Queensland Origin team.
There's a pink one there, but it's just sitting on that.
Who was in the Wiggles van? Was it the Wiggles van?
That
shit.
was Dylan Schneider. He's done that. I think it's like his 5th derby of that thing, but it was still straight as until Reese
That,
got on the side of it.
Yeah,
that-
it seemed like
Reece
Reece and Cody were going
lucky.
heading for it.
He gives that a fair whack in the side, eh? That was a good hit.
Oh, he pumped it. He pumped it so hard.
Yeah, you only got to look at the photos and the video that you got. And, you seen how far that door got pushed in. It was pretty good, eh?
Oh, it was a good run up. I mean, I don't know what else he expected going straight at Cody whilst Big Brother's there.
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering. I thought maybe they had a bit of like rivalry or something, but because they seemed to hunt
No,
it pretty hard.
I think he just made the mistake of hitting Cody whilst Reese was still around. And Reese is like, come here, mate.
If anyone picks on him, it's me.
Yeah, that's right. Only Reese can pick on Cody.
That's like me.
Corey
That's like
Latham
me.
was actually in this too. Corey was in it, but I don't know what happened to his car. It died off really early.
Oh, yeah, what was
I
he
got
in?
this hit in the background.
Oh, was that the Billy Ute?
Yeah.
I don't know. How the hell is that
And
thing
then-
still running?
Doosh.
I'll just agree with what's happening here.
Yes.
There's cars moving and
I can see the Ferris wheel. Pretty good.
I think it's a brotherly thing, Carl. You don't hit one brother without the other one.
they got 1 month
That,
to find out.
That 14, whoever was in that, oh man, Reese pumped him, eh? You watch the in-car and he hit that hard that the in-car camera freaking went flying.
I tell you what, this poor 12 went from a pretty straight wagon to a banana real quick.
Oh, mate, that wagon has been in like 5 derbies, but they never had a decent run. So
It's fucked now,
pretty much.
Shane.
What's that?
It's buggered now.
Oh, it's ratchet. The
that
build
black-
of that
is
thing
that
was
black?
not great. The actual build of it wasn't great either, which I was surprised for a Queensland car, because the fuel tank was like in the back of it on the the rear shelf of the wagon, like just before the wheel arch. It was sitting there, so when it's bent up, the fuel tank was like sticking up.
Oh shit.
All right.
Yeah, I was like, normally the boys up that way, their builds are on point, but that one was, definitely different than what's usual.
Yeah. No, they build their bloody cars good up there. I
Oh,
rate
yeah.
their build.
Oh, Reese's car was pretty rusty, but it still managed to hold on. In saying that, there was not much out there that was going to sort of be competitive against the 2 Queensland drivers.
I've got a different angle now.
Go a different angle.
Yeah, better angle of the Ferris wheel.
I think Cody's that year that Cody's has been a fair few derbies now too.
You can really tell when they run stiff suspension. You can just watch the driver bouncing around in the shit out.
Yeah.
Surely that's got to be rough on your back.
Pretty sure they
Yeah.
set their height on over there.
Oof.
Whoa.
Did Steve split? What did he say? Did Steve split his helmet in the Queensland Derby? Did he? What?
Nah, Carl, I didn't. But cheers for the comment, bud.
I don't think you've derby up that way, have you, Steve?
Yeah, no, I did. I did the Kalani Derby.
Oh yeah, Kalani, that's right.
Yeah, it's the only one I've done.
Look at that bloody wagon. Yeah, it was a lady driver in that wagon. I think it was her first one.
Oh, she found out the hard way.
Yeah, not to go back to back with Utes. Oof.
This made me laugh so hard. The amount of laps he does, given that you to piggyback.
I almost should have just sat there in neutral and just had a chill. Just,
I love
there's not
how
much
Cody
you can
doesn't
do in
stop
that one.
or doesn't try and swing him into a dead car or anything. He just keeps doing. Oh no, here's your driver's door. You see how Reese had been cracking up laughing right now. Yeah, what the hell is going on? I wonder what old mate and that other Ute's thinking like. No
Please don't
controls,
hit anything that matters.
like a sitting duck.
Yeah, just don't break me ball joints. Come on, guys. You can see from there, even in that hit there, that
Yeah.
wagon started creasing.
Yeah, I didn't even
And
notice
then-
that in the first time I watched it.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
see-
See, I'm surprised it didn't spit the tail shaft here.
The first hit, yeah. Well, it didn't spit it
Yeah.
after the second one either. It took a little bit for it
Ah.
to go, and oof.
Like, especially with them sparks, I thought it was gone for sure. But I think it's when she whacks it in reverse over there that it spits it. Oh no!
No, it's still there now. Look.
See, like drive, and then when she goes reverse, I think that's when it pops it.
You can hear it.
Yeah.
There it goes. Yeah, I think it was when she put it in reverse. That's just buggered it. I was actually lucky to get this footage. The one of the ladies there, I think one of the ladies that runs it, he bloody told me I couldn't film from the inside. Try to kick me out.
Imagine being in that ute just then, sitting there with nowhere to go, and watching this big white ute just come at you as fast as it wants.
good warm up for Origin for the boys as well. I'm surprised they didn't go head to head there.
So this is where I like watching two Queenslanders be left in a derby that both have Queensland built cars, and you watch exactly how they attack each other to take each other out. And it's a key indicator on like what we should be doing to take him out.
Yeah, well, that
Obviously here they're just
definitely not.
no.
Oh, Steve-O's back. There he is.
There you go. Yeah, no, I was seeing Carl Thomas's comment there. No, I didn't split my helmet, mate. I did get launched out of the driver's seat when I was parked, and you hit me up the front and like launched me out of the driver's seat into the other side, and I headbutted the passenger door. But yeah, that's about it. It launched me, no.
That was when someone just absolutely annihilated you when you were sitting there.
Oh man, it pumped me, I just remember getting up and looking at old mate as he's driving away, and I'm thinking, oh, if I get this bloody thing started.
I remember watching I was midway through the derby, and you were just like in the wrong side of the car, and they go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, like it tore my seatbelt off and everything, Yeah, it tore my seatbelt off. My gear selector was bent over to like to the left hard, from where my knee caught it. It pumped me, It was a good.
That one. But have a go at this back to back here. They're kind of like Cody's car eats Reese's back end, because Reese's back end was like rusty as anything. So they kind of just like collide into each other.
They scissor as brothers.
Oh,
yeah, it just folded the middle of that car.
That was still a pretty solid hit, that,
Oh yeah, it's folded the middle of that ute.
Holy shit, that was a good hit.
And then they're just like, "Woo, yeah!"
Good on him, mate.
Solid finish with your brother.
That's a good way to finish a derby too, isn't it?
Oh yeah, finishing it off with your brother in style.
Aiden James wants to know if they use fence panels for roof numbers up there.
I don't know, Carl.
Their roof numbers.
This is Reese Hacks from the in-car from the ADDA cameras. We just brought them up there so the boys can have a bit more.
You say that?
Nearly hit the crowd.
Look how close he was to them poles in that car. There's no way in the world I'd park my car that close to a fucking derby field.
Nah, they said before the derby, if anyone goes past these tyres, you're instantly disqualified, and then nothing happened.
Yeah, like look at him bouncing around in there.
I can't even see it. It's frozen again.
Your hamster's died, mate. You're going to be the new Matt Moore if you keep going. Imagine in Tamworth.
Yeah, no. This one wasn't going to do.
Bills, buddy. Blake hasn't paid the internet bill.
Yeah, it's just shit phone. That's all it is.
Time for an upgrade.
Too much porn.
Yeah, same thing with Nathan's phone. He had some issues with it before.
Yeah, it's all right. We upgraded the internet.
I'm just going to sit you there for a sec. I'm just going to go to the fridge.
Gonna get another drink. You hear that magnet going through that track, eh? What? Have we got this here? You can see he's lined him up. Dylan just left his front end way too open. Now he's lining up to do the kill shot on him. This is what punches the door in. Look at the corner. He lines the corner up and just goes, dunk.
Nice.
Punches it straight in.
Yeah, I don't think he was going for a kill shot there. I think he was going for a fuck you shot.
I think so. I think he got him the kill shot with that first shot on the wheel. It was surprising to see so many front-wheel drives in the Queensland derbies too. Look at that poor old wagon. I think it's a Bluebird wagon, maybe. Like it kind of bent like a Cortina wagon.
Is that the one that turned up to Kalani?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, same one. If
Yeah,
you
right.
remember, where the fuel tank was, where it was like right in the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, and it was
went
right near where
flying
the
up to
wheel
the
was
top when
going.
it bent.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember I had that conversation with him. Nah, it'll never hit. It's done 4 derbies now and it hasn't bothered it. I'm like, well, when it actually hits something solid, it's going to bend.
Yeah, well, I'm sure one of the blokes at the Kalani show was saying that too. It's going to bend like a triangle in the middle, like a Commodore.
Yeah, 100%. It just blows up. I wasn't expecting it to happen that quickly, but yeah, I suppose it was the first time it actually probably got hit.
How good is the vision out the back end of a U?
Oh yeah. Just watching everything fold behind it. I hope that some of the Queensland boys have run the actual in-car cameras so we can see what it's like on their side of the track as well.
Yeah, well,
Oof.
like just looking out the back of him though, like you can pinpoint exactly where you want your corners to hit and everything like that, like your chassis rails and all that stuff. Like it's
The lady in the wagon was hunting Reese. It didn't work out well for her.
Wait, there was a chick in that derby.
in the wagon.
Yeah, she was the one in that wagon that got pumped.
Oh, what? They folded up like a triangle.
Yep.
Oh, good on her.
Yeah, she didn't back off the accelerator. It's just bloody pumping.
Fucking going against the Hack boys too. Good on her. That's the go, eh?
Bad spot to be if you're the number 3 and there's those 2 boys.
Yeah, shit.
Reese,
Yeah.
Reese will
It's,
knock you out, but Cody will take your wheels off.
I believe there's a female on the Queensland side this year too.
Yeah, Jacinda Burgess. That's
Yeah.
going to be an awesome experience for her.
She was actually at Bow Desert as well, wasn't she?
I believe so.
Yeah, because I think she was in that Magna at Bow Desert, and I'll tell you what, that car was absolutely. It looked like a Coke can that had been stepped on, and she kept that thing going until it just would not move anymore. She didn't want to snap a flag, and that thing was fucked.
Shit,
No,
yeah.
she just take a backward step.
Bigger balls than half the boys on here, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I can tell you now, she had 3 Queensland utes like absolutely annihilating her from each and every direction, and she
Yeah,
was still
exactly, yeah.
foot flat on the pedal. She did not want to give up.
No, she will go hard in Origin. And the cool part is she's our first ever Australian rep female driver. Well, our first ever state rep driver. It's a female.
Good on her,
That's
eh?
a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, man. That's a good promotion for the sport too, you know, especially like a female getting out there to have a crack like that.
100%. It'd be a wild experience because Origin's, brutal. So
I'll rate anything
it's-
that gets in a derby car.
Yeah,
that's
let alone on
this is
that
a
stage.
subject. Like we had a thing on the association about it the other day about like females and derbies, and there was certain comments made and everything, but like, yeah, yet again, it's an open sport. Like any female can drive in any derby. There's nothing against it. It's obviously it's a male dominated sport, but some females don't want to hop in a derby car against like some of these blokes. Like,
No, and you
No,
can't
it's
judge
not.
them for if they want to have
that's
their own derby. I mean,
and that's why we
myself,
open
I
that.
think that the comments made, were not the best. But also that area where that comes from, that's the reason the girls don't have their own derbies is because there's no one's organised and they don't have the opportunities. I'm sure if someone did organise it, then that's a good way to get the more girls out there.
Oh, fuck. Blake's
Oh, well.
gone.
Oh, Blakey,
He,
you and your,
Yeah, that's
your
right, like
brother, mate.
I
Yeah.
don't see the problem in giving open opportunities for more females to drive, whether it be their own derby or whether it's an open derby. But
Yeah, I think it's a great way because you get them, they get out of there, and I even think having a rookies derby would be good for people that have done less than 2 years derbies or something.
yeah,
like
that's right.
that.
It's
Another big,
The more you
another
have
big show.
these,
Another show that'd be good to see get going again is bloody Wingham show, eh? Like I've seen a lot of
Yeah,
new
yeah.
drivers turn up for that, but it pulled the pin on it real quick, eh?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Unfortunately, there was never much advertisement for Wingham though. Like, you wouldn't know it was on. Like, no one, like even I didn't know, and I know most of the derbies that are on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not that much. I know, you know,
A lot of
there was.
it's the show committees that don't help out too much, and they make it harder for the Derby world, especially with the horses and shit. Like it's, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Anyway.
they're our
Well, that's
number
why
one fan,
having the
not horse
association
people.
helps a bit. Like Derby Mania is the first Derby event where it is solely our house. Like, we don't have to wait for the horses to finish. We don't have to wait for the races to finish. It's our house.
And that's
if
what
you're
I
going
think
there,
about
you're going to watch destruction.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it, because that's it. It's just all about the destruction, and it's nothing else. Like, you get all these mad bastards like us who's always keen to go watch a derby, and we're the first ones there, obviously. But yeah, just to see everyone turn up to the Toowoomba Speedway for the State of Origin and shit, that was pretty cool. I give it to you.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
I think when Origin happens this year, there's a few boys that are actually, I was talking to at Gloucester, that are coming up specifically to watch the Derby, which is awesome that they're traveling that far to see, what is like the top tier of our sport. Like there's no bigger, event in our sport than putting 13 New South Wales people against 13 Queenslanders. Like, that's a cool thing to see.
It just sounds
even
brutal.
Derby Mania, yeah, it's getting brutal. But even Derby Mania, like it's going to be, it's more of an open tournament. You're not selected to do it. Everyone can go out there and have their moment to shine. Whereas Origin, it's selected the best of the best out there to do what they do best. So I think it's the most violent derby that we have. It's absolutely brutal out there, but it's also something amazing to watch. If you're a first timer, I would have loved it when I first started to go to watch the best of the best collide. But it was never a thing. It was just agricultural shows and monster trucks derbies. That's about it. Now that we've got these extra levels of the sport, I think it's cool for all the new ones coming up to go and watch the people that have been doing it for, decades collide.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Yeah,
like you look at it. Obviously, look at all the newbies that turn up to Gloucester show. Like, you can't say that this sort of podcast and stuff doesn't help with all the newbies or all the promotion of the sport now, because 38 cars to Gloucester is a lot of cars, eh?
Oh, there's so many cars there.
Like we were speaking about this before, like when we first sort of started the association, that from when I started derbying to sort of just before the association started, that you'd be lucky to see one or two newbies every 5 derbies.
Yeah,
and
man, 100%.
Like 9 times out of 10, it was only a person that, like either I bring into the sport or someone that drove bring into the sport. It'd never be someone that had nothing to do with the sport. Like it was definitely going to die. It was going to die with our generation, which was shit. But you can start to see all these new blokes coming through, like people you've never met or heard of now, it's fucking cool to see.
Yeah, look, honestly, my only thing I can sort of say, and like, it's nothing out of the disrespect of anyone's, way, but with the State of Origin, I think there needs to be like at least 3 selectors that goes to derbies and watch derbies and how people drive and their skills. And I think the selectors are going to be the bigger helper for the State of Origin, eh? Because you look at the footy, you got selectors who go to games and watch them. I think that's going to help.
That'd be a great idea. It'd be great to not have me pick it all and get hated on me. I'd love to have people go, I don't have anything to do with it, boys.
And that's exactly right. But like it goes vice versa, for the Queensland team too, like, and the New South Wales team, like it, you know what I mean? It's, yeah, that's how I see. The only thing I can sort of pick up on for the State of Origin is it just needs a couple of selectors, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I think,
right.
I think Origin's one of those
given this
things
is
that
the
are going
first
to
year
advance.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
but
going
like playing their
to
association.
be based off the leaderboard in the future, because the leaderboard's obviously going to show who's who.
Yep.
And that's what I think what's going to happen in the future. Like, we're still in the first series. And I think that as we get along, that's what will happen. At the moment, we're kind of limited in the fact that some people are members and some aren't. Some people do derbies in the middle of nowhere, and some people do them, in Newcastle where they get noticed. So you kind of deal with what you've got and pick from there. The good part, I think, is going to be the more footage we get, the more the community comes together. Like there's a lot more people out there that know people now than there was before because we have the Derby community, people talk, and people actually get a little bit of advertisement too. So you see the names start to pop up. Even at Gloucester, I don't know whether it happened to you boys, but there were so many people that were talking to me and I had no idea who they were. Like I just met them that day, but they were calling out to me, having a conversation, and I was like, yeah, cool. Like, yeah, they all love Blake Taylor. I don't know what he does to people, but nearly everyone there knew Blake Taylor.
He's just smarter. That's why everyone loves him. He's smarter.
And that's a good point that you made, Steve, because like we've spoke about it before, like with other things, not only with Origin, but like a lot of like choice-based things that, like Shane obviously started most of this off his own back. Like obviously Origin he started, so like it was kind of fell onto him to be that person. But yeah, that was something that we did speak about with a lot of things to do with the association is more, open picked teams and that type of thing, and take the pressure off Shane so he doesn't have to be that person and
exactly. And that's the only reason I said that, because like you look at it, but you go to every games, man. Like you got footy selectors who go to, they go pick the team players, like that need to be in the team. Like honestly, Shane, like I think it's awesome how you got the State of Origin and the Derby Mania and everything else going with it. But I just think just a couple of minor adjustments and we'll be fucking.
Oh yeah, it'll happen, man. You can ask Nathan all the board. I do not want to select people. It is so much pressure to pick the team.
It puts heaps of pressure.
Oh, and then you go into a derby and people just hate you because you didn't pick him, and you're like, mate, there's so many roles and there's so many people. You got to pick someone.
But this is where the podcast help, where you get people on with different perspectives of or point of views on the actual sport, where you can just go, yep, this needs to be done, or this needs to be done. Like everyone's saying, it's only early stages. Like what's game 2 coming up? So
game 2.
And this is like all within 2 years of freaking work. So yeah.
Really,
that's another thing too. Like
we haven't even been around for 12 months yet.
Yeah, like our association's not even 12 months old, and like that's another thing. Like we cop a lot of slack for. Yeah, well, we cop a lot of slack for the shit that happened so far, but. You can only learn as you go. Like we're not even 12 months old yet. And I think, as an association and everyone in it, it's fucking been great. Like it's blown up massively. And like what you just said then, like different people with different opinions. I think we have 7 or 8 board members. Well, it's 10 or anyway, around 10. And almost every single one of our board members come in with a different opinion. And that's why most ideas that come out of the board are great because they've got opinions from every angle, and a lot of things are being hit with it. That it's good, and if they're not good, we have 30 odd members that'll tell us their shit, and this is the way it should have been. And we take all that advice on board. So that's why the association's so good.
Yeah, generally before anything goes to mainstream, it goes to the board chat, and then it's discussed there, and then it goes to the members chat, and it's discussed there, and then it's released out for anything major. And at any of those points, if there's disagreements, then it goes back to the board to discuss it. But yeah, 100%, the less
stress on you, the better.
Selection, the better.
Like, honestly, I think it's going to be a bloody good thing, eh? Game 2, I can't wait to see it because there's going to be some brutal freaking hits. Yeah.
I think the question everyone wants to know is Stephen Taylor going to be completely blue?
Oh, mate,
your brother's in the derby. You've got to represent. Like, I want blue hair. I want blue face paint.
I used to be as wild as him, man. Probably
get a couple of runs in, he'll go blue.
Yeah, I think we give him a couple of rums, and then we'll ask him the question again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does the insurance say about a passenger seat?
I strongly says no.
Cops and criminals. We should do that again.
Yeah, cops and criminals. That's definitely one that I want to do. Also, city versus country, but try and get the Queenslanders involved in it would be cool. So you could have like a mix of New South Wales and Queensland in the city team, and mix of New South Wales and friggin' Queensland in the country team. That
sounds fair. What about the Victorian drivers and shit too?
Yeah, get them all in there. See, I actually offered, because we've got 10 sponsored cars for Derby Mania from the scrapyard in Toowoomba, and we actually offered them to our members that are in different states, but they just couldn't get there, unfortunately. But that's something we definitely like to do, to try and get the cars there so the boys can just rock up and do it.
Yep.
Yeah, like those team events I think are awesome. But like, if you think about it, we've been so 20th of May, I think we started off officially. And you think of the 20th of May, since that time, we've had 2 drivers go to America to represent. We've had first state of origin, which was awesome. We're having our second state of origin. We're having Derby Mania, and then we're sending 13 drivers overseas. Like, and that's in what, less than 12 months.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Like I say, it's pretty cool for what it is. Honestly, the Derby world's definitely promoted heaps more, and it's good to actually see. Like even old rivals, like look at me and Nath, or back when we first started Derby, me and him, we used to go head to head and that, or look at you and me, Shane, at Nabiac the first time we went head to head.
Yeah.
I still remember Chris Fisher coming to Tyree's show, and he was in that bent up Magna wagon, fucking, oh man, he drove it unreal. But like that's just how I say it. Like the amount of people, like good blokes you meet through the way of this Derby association, it's awesome. And how different build cars, like you look at Stewie and Stace, and man, they're the bloody gurus. That's how I talk to them. Like that's how I say them, mate. It's building a ute, they're bloody gurus, eh?
And the cool part about having the Derby Mania and that is that Stewie and Stace's builds and critties are going to go directly in competition with the Queensland builds, and then that's going to go in competition with the Newcastle builds. So there's all different ones. So I don't know, I'm just excited. I'm as a fan of the sport, I'm extremely excited, and then I forget that I'm actually in the derbies as well. So I go, oh yeah, well, cool for that too.
I just want to point over that there's a lot of entertainment going off in the comment section here. That
Is this Blake Smith driving a truck or something right now?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're making love or fighting. So keep an eye on that. we might have to watch these 2 at Origin. They might nick off into the bushes somewhere.
It gets dark really quickly in that.
I can't even see it. Like, I don't even know what's going on. He's a bloody He's a hopefully next time I do this next podcast, it'll be a bit better. But yeah, it was the first time for everything, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I mean, that's me, Nath. I'm an hour and a half. You've got bedtime, mate. I just want to thank you for coming on, Steve, Chris. It's good to see you guys again. I hope we get to do this more often. If we can freaking do it once a week, it would be great. But we keep bloody getting busy.
I've got an Origin
does enjoy watching these videos, so we appreciate getting our drivers on. You'd be surprised the amount of people that will watch this, the first timers and that'll watch this and want to get on board in the future. And that's something that I want to do and encourage people to do. So if you do want to get involved in the sport, don't be afraid to contact any of these boys. Steve's a psycho, and he'll show you how to build a car to build for a psycho. And then you got Nathan and Chris. Yeah, that's right. Who build their cars to win. So, if you guys want to have a chat with us, that
information, but if you want to build a car in 24 hours, let me know.
Yeah, sorry, I made a mistake there. So Chris Fisher builds cars to win. Nathan builds them to go play in the mud. So he's poor drive Camrys.
Okay.
But yeah, no, appreciate you guys being on. Anyone else that wants to learn how to build cars and stuff, or any videos you want to see, anything you got questions, just let us know and we'll sort them all out. Nath, do you want to take us out, mate?
Yeah. So once again, every week, it's an important thing to most of us. I believe in it big time, big strong thing. But it's definitely not weak to speak. Hey, if you're struggling with mental health, reach out. Every one of the boys on this screen right now have either been through it or know someone that has. It's a lot easier to talk to you, while you're struggling rather than sitting in a room full of people saying goodbye to you. So it's it's not weak to speak. Definitely not weak to speak. Reach out to anyone on the Derby page. It's derbies have saved us in a lot of way of releasing our anger. But
Fuck
yeah,
yeah, man.
reach out.
Look at me, man. I'm fucking, I'm only bouncing back these last few weeks, which has been pretty tough. But the derbies, yeah, they definitely keep me going. I'll tell you that.
They're a good
It's
way
good
to
to see it,
express.
man. Like, and it does it. Anyone that's done derbies before knows that it's hard to be sad after a derby, isn't it? You're just you're
I don't
the most
know.
happy person in the world. Unless
Yeah,
you get
but-
5 seconds in, or unless you go all the way to Toowoomba for State of Origin, the biggest demolition derby ever, and then last 20 seconds before getting pumped in the corner by Queenslanders. No?
And speaking on that, it's been a lovely episode.
Just for anyone else, also before I go, the raffle car tickets will for Goondiwindi and Ipswich are still for sale. Every member gets a free one if they nominate. So if you guys want one, then rip in and get your free ticket. That will be drawn, I think it was a week before each event. So make sure you get your tickets in because Goondiwindi's a Camry built by Critty. So it'll be an absolute monster. And the Ipswich car is a Hyundai i30, which is built by me, which will be wired perfect, but I have no idea how it'll go. They're solid as anything in the back, though. They've got a solid chassis in the rear. So no idea what they'll go.
That's not really
like.
confident.
Yeah. Well, I think the front of it's plastic, like the front radiator support's plastic. So I don't know how it's going to go, but the rear end of it, man, I had a look at it and I went, oh my God, it's got like a full 380 rear on it.
You can't say that about the plastic fronts. The Tucson was bloody plastic front as well.
Well, yeah. Now that Matt showed us how you can still win in them by just using them.
Yeah, so
I don't even know if he protected the front on that thing. He just kind of hit everything that moved.
No, he just went.
With that too, so being drawn a week before, you have a week to inspect the car as well. So obviously, it's your choice at the end of the day. If you do win it, it will be solely your choice whether you drive it or not. So yeah, just so everyone knows that as well, that you'll have time. You got a week, so whether it's on the day or not, but yeah, it's your choice whether you drive the car. So it'll be your inspection.
Yep.
But,
yeah. So if you want to replace that plastic with solid 10 mil thick steel, you wish.
I heard
boys,
Robbie in
we'll,
America does good front bars.
Yeah, that's right. Robbie does. Civil Solution guys, just get that giant bar, get it transferred over here. They're coming over this way, so you might as well just get him to bring it with you and throw it in the backpack. You'll be right.
Yeah, so if you go on the ADDA website, we have pre-orders for front bars.
Yeah, only $16,000 per bar, so it's really cheap. We're hoping it's going to sell well. You watch. There's going to be people who are going to check the website now. I'm only joking. There's nothing on there. All right, guys. Well, I'll see you next time, eh?
All right, thanks everyone.
All right.
Yeah. Well, later. Cheers.